Okay. Let's get this up and... Oh. Kind of... Sure. Okay. Welcome. Sorry, hold on. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Wrestling Pod. I am your host, Carlito Santiago. Unfortunately, my cousin can't join us because clearly he doesn't know how to answer a phone, but hopefully he sees this so he can see this. Okay. Just making sure we're live. So, Monday Night Raw happened in Scotland, Glasgow, Scotland. And, of course, the European tour continues this week, with a stop to Scotland, as we're less than a month, 26 days, I'm hearing, till WrestleMania 41. So, things are really heating up. We opened up the show, of course, at 4 o'clock. I got back home and was able to catch it. So, of course, the show opened with shots of various superstars arriving to the OVO Hydro Arena. If you guys don't remember, this was the arena for the Clash of the Castle where Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest had the World Heavyweight Championship match. Michael Cole kind of ran down the card. When we went live into the stadium, John Cena's music hit with a thunderous eruption of boos and chants of "Cena sucks" in rhythm to his song. The veteran said the crowd was full of horrible people, and they were going to pay for the abuse that they have put him through for 25 years, which I think is bullshit, but whatever. Cena went on for several minutes about his relationship with the fans and how he can play them like a fiddle. He said he is going to purposely ruin wrestling by winning a 17th World Championship so nobody will remember Ric Flair and have to say Cena's name forever, which of course we're going to. Then he promised to retire the title when he leaves. Cena leaned heavily into the villainous aspect of his character in this promo, and it worked. The crowd played along with every line. When Rhodes' music hit, the fans pumped to see him. Of course, their new toy, new hero. The American Nightmare said he made a mistake thinking there was a difference between the old and the new Cena because he might be the most dangerous he has ever been now. Cena ended up walking away from the ring, and Rhodes told him he will leave empty-handed at WrestleMania 41. This was a little on the long side, but it was a good segment. It kept the feud going without the need for physicality, but it can't last forever. They can't keep doing this back and forth shit. So there's got to be a moment of where they fucking hit each other. So at some point between now and Mania, these two need to throw hands, and fans will grow sick of this non-violent showdown shit. And I agree. I think they do need to throw hands. This Cena talking promo package shit is not working. It's not. Cody Rhodes is always the babyface coming out here, and once he loses that title, hopefully he goes in a little Homelander mode, if you know what I mean. Or when he gets the title back from Cena by the end of the Cena's title run, which will most likely last this year. So, the Usos took on A-Town Down Under. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't Joe Hendry, who we can say his name and he appears. No, it was Big Jim. It was Big Jim. So Uso was set to have a mystery partner for his match. Of course, it was his brother. So it ended up being the surprise, much to the delight of the crowd and Pat McAfee. Jay started for his team, and it didn't take long for Big Jim to get the tag so they could hit some double-team offense on Waller and Theory. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but throughout the fucking American version show, like through people who watch Netflix here in the U.S., we got to see a bit of the action when it was supposed to be going to commercial break. So, I think, and then by like the 45-minute point of the show, they fixed it. It was kind of weird. It was really kind of weird, but they fixed it. That sucked. We had to see commercials. But A-Town Down Under eventually found a way to get the upper hand using some dirty tactics, so Jimmy spent a few minutes being worked over in his corner. The crowd was weirdly quiet in places, but would come alive whenever a fun spot occurred. It might have been the way the audience was set up for sound, or perhaps WWE might have forgotten to include its usual fake crowd noises. Haha. Everything sounded normal during the previous segment. The Usos hit 1D on Theory to score the win and the victory. This was a solid match. They celebrated. But it wasn't really that memorable, so it was pretty good. Gunther showed up, though, and took out Jimmy before him and Jay got into it. Now, here's the thing I wanted to talk about. So, Jay's in the corner. He's got the momentum. He slips. Now, I don't know if Jay did this purposefully, or this was this was in the script, or this was a botch. I've looked at it constantly, repeated like yesterday, and I'm going to be completely frank with you. Even if Uso did it, even if this was a botch, this was a pretty good fucking botch, and it really sets up the story. It even throws fire into the throws fuel into the fire that's already burning. So, to be quite honest, I think that this is good. I think that this is great. I think this is great because Gunther was able to counter, and I think even if Jay didn't slip, right, Gunther still would have caught him and tried to powerbomb him, and then Jimmy would have came in with the chair. So, there is a moment in the back, too, where they do talk about doubt, and I like this, because I knew it was going to be about self-doubt. But, the Usos win, fun match, and it keeps the story going between Gunther and Jay. It's really cool to see how unique each Uso brother feels now. There was a long time when most fans couldn't tell them apart, and both now have unique personalities and looks, so you can now tell them apart. Like, oh my god, Jay Uso's the one who goes, yeet. Jimmy Uso's the one who doesn't. Well, unless his brother does it. And they, of course, mentioned the commercial shit. So, anyway. We got Lyra Valkyria and, of course, Raquel next. WWE aired a video package of El Grande Americano. Chad Gable denied being under the mask in a backstage segment with Adam Pearce, Rey Mysterio, and Dragon Lee. He had a doctor's note stating he was too sick to compete. Gable suggested Lee fight Americano instead, which Lee agreed to. Next up was our IC title bout. It was Valkyria and Raquel, who had Liv Morgan at ringside for support. Raquel had a significant size and strength advantage and made sure to put that on display as soon as they started. Which, of course, is true. I mean, Raquel's a big fucking woman, so... But the champion had to use her quickness to it and avoid and counter whatever she could. There was a bit of lull in the action during the middle portion, but Morgan, being such a good antagonist at ringside, added some entertainment. Valkyria retained the title by countering Raquel's powerbomb into a victory roll for the 1-2-3, but she was attacked by Morgan as soon as the bell rang. Of course, we had to have something here, right? So we had Bayley show up to make the save and help send the women's tag champs out of the ring, running scared. And of course, possibly Bayley fighting Lyra Valkyria next. Way to fucking go. The finish was done a little slowly, so it looked awkward, but it was the right booking decision. You keep the title on Valkyria until we get Bayley to take the title off of her, apparently. WWE is relying on showing celebrities sitting in the crowd too much. That is true. They really are. Again, this was fine. I mean, for what it was worth. Bayley is most likely to take the title from her because who else is, right? Like, what is this women's division at this point? To be completely frank with you. The women's championship situation. So, this was another one I kind of already left. I kind of turned the TV off after this, but the Raw general manager, Adam Pearce, came to the ring and talked about the women's title situation. Io Sky came to the ring, and she said she was willing to put the title against Ripley and Bianca at the same time. The EST of WWE arrived and said that she did not want Rhea weaseling her way into the match that she did not earn. Rightfully so. Bianca, of course, earned the right to face the champion. Now, I gotta be honest. WWE has put me in kind of a irritating situation. So, I love when they change the titles and they change hands. So, let me explain to you something, okay? Oh, God. WWE put the title on Io so that they could do more of the Ripley, make her feel mad and be like, oh, you took my title away, this wasn't fair, yada, yada, you know what I mean? So now, what they're doing here is they this whole little back and forth, disrespecting Io, Bianca Belair and Ripley not liking each other. Pierce was interrupted a third time by Rhea Ripley, so Pierce ended up booking Ripley and Sky next week for the title, right? So, and the winner will actually go and face Belair at WrestleMania. All three women started brawling as soon as the GM left the ring. Now, listen, they've been building this up and hyping this up right now, disrespecting Io, pushing her, leaving her, and then obviously we got the contract signing with Ripley signing her name to it, so we know we're getting a triple threat match automatically at WrestleMania. Ripley, Io, and fucking Bianca. There's going to be a title match next week on Raw where Bianca's a special guest referee. It's Io and Ripley for the title. Now, how much you want to bet? How much do you guys want to bet that Ripley is going to win back the title so then we can get a pissed off Io? So then she can fucking weasel her way in there instead of having Ripley try to weasel her way in there, right? It'll be Io who gets all upset and wants a fucking rematch and doesn't have her path to WrestleMania and gets herself in there. It's going to be Ripley who wins the title. They can't just let this go. Ripley is not, I mean, that's the best option. We're going to reverse the roles. We're going to put the title back on Ripley, and this is where booking comes in. Why the fuck are you putting the title back on Ripley after a fucking month? Just 1 month. You know how good a title reign is. It's worth 3 months. A good title reign is 3 months. If Io's going to have a 3-month title reign, this isn't the way to do it. But WWE is most likely to end up having Bianca Belair win at WrestleMania. So, I really can't get mad at this because everything makes fucking sense. The only thing that I hate is the fucking title switching. Like, I don't like when the title doesn't, like when they don't hold the title for a certain amount of time and defend it a certain amount of times. Like, it's just a pointless reign. It's fucking pointless. Now, I do like title changes on a Raw or a SmackDown, right? But the reign matters. The journey we take with the champion, right? I know everybody's about, everybody's about the journey. We're all about the chase. That's why they like having heels as champion, so that the babyface can chase after that championship. And when they're all done, they have to drop it to a heel. LA Knight did the same shit. The EST ended the segment on top after dropping Io Sky and Ripley at the outside with the KOD, and everybody booing Bianca Belair. Fuck you, international crowd, for booing fucking black women. Come on. Get it together. I love your crowds, though. You guys sing loud to the theme songs. I love it. This segment helped set up a title match next week while keeping Mania in focus, and it gave all three women some time on the mic. Pierce acting frustrated is always kind of funny, because he says, I need a drink. Belair getting booed as she took out the other two superstars was a little surprising, of course. But Io being over as the champion in every country is always great to see. Maybe that's why they put it on. Because she's... Yeah, but Ripley's also over... What the fuck? I don't understand. This is where we got Jim giving a prep talk to Jay that I was talking about earlier. Needing to say the same Jay who won the Royal Rumble in order to beat Gunther. Jimmy saw the ring general and challenged him to a match before slapping the piss out of him, and Gunther just smiling about this. That's going to be a good match. Gunther and Jimmy's going to be a good match. Just for Jay to make the save, that's going to be a good match, I'm telling you. Okay. We can already confirm this is Chad Gable. Let's not, no. Actually, I saw a comment that said it's Omos. Whoever did that comment, you are funny. WrestleMania did the fucking... Yeah, WrestleMania did the joke. Anyway, we had El Grande Americano, which basically means the big American. I don't know how big he really is, but he was in action against Dragon Lee in the next match, and the crowd began to do the Ole chant as soon as it began. Now, they showed a little video package of where what the El Grande Americano is about. And coming from a Latino who's watched wrestling for more than 10 years, the IWC is out of their fucking minds. You're going to suggest that this is racist just because they showed the Gulf of America. From the Gulf of America? I think WWE is really making fun of it, honestly. Honestly, I think WWE is really making fun of the Gulf of America because they know how fucking stupid it is. They know how stupid it sounds. This is just a history erasing here, honestly. But nonetheless, again, the IWC needs to get out of their fucking, like, they need to get out of it. They need to stop. It's not racist. This isn't a MAGA company. No way, shape, or form does it show that. I've been watching wrestling for 10 years and it didn't matter. This is the thing about me. I keep politics out of wrestling or sports in general. Like, honestly, they should be out of sports. All right? Because it doesn't help anybody. We're all here for a good time. We're learning, we're fucking telling stories. We're having fun. We're watching people get beat the fuck up. That's what wrestling was about. Beating the shit out of people in great fashion. Anyway, just enough about that. Americano used some of the traditional lucha moves against Lee, who had been lauded for his lucha libre ability for years. This was the most physical match of the night. It was with the quickest pace and hard-hitting action. Lee and Americano? Great job. No, it's Omos. What are you talking about? It's fucking Omos. This feud and storyline might be on the ridiculous side. Rightfully so. Everyone involved is a tremendous athlete capable of putting on great matches, so it should come as no surprise that this was a lot of fun while still incorporating some of the comedic aspects of the feud. Now, Americano pulled off Lee's mask and made him tap out with the ankle lock, as we know. Now, again, just to the IWC one more time, you guys are the same people that were fine with Kurt Angle doing it, with fucking Hulk Hogan doing it, with Sami Zayn doing it, so I don't want to fucking hear it. If you're okay with those, then you have no problem with this, and I got no problem with this. I love the Americano. It's kind of funny. Chad Gable is using this in a great way. He even said he was gonna go learn some lucha wrestling. So great, good. This was nonstop fun, and if they had 5 more minutes, this could have been the best thing we saw all week. B+. Fuck this. For Americano, let's give it an A-. Let's give it an A-. All right, we're switching it up with an A-, and then I don't know. That's what we're gonna go. A-. CM Punk came to the ring, gave a promo about what happened with Seth and Roman on SmackDown. He went uninterrupted, so he went into the main event next. Now, Punk, does it say where Punk? Yeah, Punk not being able to have another verbal exchange with Eddie Kingston is such a loss. But, to say the least, he works with children, and he mentions this, and I love that he mentions that. In fact, he does work with children. He works with 2 little crybabies. One, who fucking causes him, tremendous pain. And then the other one, I'm not going to make fun of the OTC. I can't. Tribal Chief, baby. Tribal Chief. So, the main event, I'm going to try to make sense of this. Braun Breaker put up the IC title against Penta, and the champion immediately began to assert his dominance by hitting a brutal clothesline. Dominic Mysterio and Carlito came to the ring, tried to support Penta despite him not showing interest in joining the Judgment Day, so Penta began to build some momentum after a break as the crowd chanted his name. We came back in a few high flying moves and had Breaker struggling to recover after a destroyer. Now, Mysterio caused a disqualification by interfering and attacking Breaker, so you know how I feel about disqualifications, and there was no need to do this one. Now, Finn Balor showed up and hit the champion with a steel chair. He then gave it to Dominic to hit Braun Breaker, and we see a pattern here, as Dom, of course, then hands it to Penta. Penta looked confused on why they would cost him the match, so Dom hands him the chair, only for him to throw it at him and hit him with a kick. Finn Balor would then attack him. The show ended with Balor hitting Braun Breaker to exit the ring, and then, of course, take out Penta. And by Fightful, according to Fightful, it looks like and seems like WWE is setting up for a fatal 4-way for the IC title. Braun Breaker, Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. Now, why would we do this? To create tension between Finn Balor and Dominic, so we can break up this whole Judgment Day and end this shit completely. Now, because it ended in disqualification, which it didn't need to because we know how this match could have been, honestly, and I'm being completely fresh and fair with this, Braun Breaker and Penta should have ended with, they didn't want Penta to lose, right? I don't like DQ finishes. I hate DQ finishes, but they're executed, and this is what WWE does. When WWE doesn't want 2 guys to lose, like he doesn't want Penta to be Intercontinental Champion, and they don't want Penta to lose, they book this disqualification instead of that. But mind you, Breaker won because they attacked Breaker. Mysterio beat up Breaker. Why didn't you just beat up Penta? I don't fucking know. It just makes no sense. You could have said Penta won by disqualification. I would be like, oh, okay. So the good guy gets the win. Breaker's just the IC champ. I'm sorry. The attacking of Breaker. The whole point of this was so Mysterio thought that Penta would join him. And then, of course, they got... I don't know what the fuck I just did. I don't know. I feel at awe with this fucking... I just feel drained from this main event. This main event was good. And then you ruined it by having Mysterio come in and cause a DQ. Fuck you, Mysterio. Everybody who goes to crowds and Mysterio is there. If you see Dominic Mysterio, boo the shit out of him. Say, fuck you, Dom. I want some of you guys to be in the crowd and say, fuck you, Dom. Because that's what he deserves. Fucking causing DQs. God damn it. I don't want to be pissed on a Monday. Well, today's Tuesday, but you know what I mean. So, B-. The final word, of course. Monday Night Raw had a couple of hits, a couple of misses, and a lot that fell right down the middle. Cena's promo was at the top of the show, felt more focused than the last week's. And his exchange with Rhodes also had a better flow to it. Of course, again, bitching, moaning, and whining, but promising to take the WWE title and mentioning the spinner belt, which I forgot to mention in the beginning of this. But Lee and Americano had the best match of the night, despite, of course, people online criticizing and making fun of Americano, or Chad Gable, or Otis, or Omos. I'm kidding, it's not Otis. I don't know why I said Otis. I meant to say Omos. Apologize. But people just making fun on the internet about this, and Triple H is going to see this, and he's going to be like, psh. That's how Triple H is going to, he ain't going to give a shit. But the Usos and the A-Town Down Under provided a fun reunion for the brothers, and the main event was good right up until the dirty finish. Yeah, the fucking dirty finish. It feels like WWE is still making some last-minute decisions regarding WrestleMania because the War Raiders still don't have a clear contenders for the tag team titles. We could be getting the New Day, or we could be getting, like I said, American Made for the tag team titles. The mid-card title feuds are only just now the beginning to come into focus. Glasgow crowd gave the show some good energy. And not having McIntyre or Joe Hendry get a significant segment in his home country felt like a missed opportunity. But Joe Hendry actually had somewhere to be. He was at a signing, I believe, with Mark Henry. I think that's I don't know. I'd have to do my research again. But I saw a photo or something about see you soon in Glasgow. And he was in Glasgow. He was in Scotland. I don't know. This was graded a B. Honestly, I'm going to agree with the grade here. This was a B show. Raw's coming back next week in London, I believe. London? London. Yes. London. They'll be back next week in London at 3 p.m. I won't be able to see it, but what I will be able to do is catch the recap, probably watch an hour of it, and then do whatever. But yeah, this was a pretty good Monday Night Raw. I'd go check it out. Top segment. This was fun. Main event, honestly, kind of fell short of it. The women's, honestly, this is another thing that's also good too. The women's championship, this was all good. That was all good too. And again, go watch Dragon Lee and El Grande Americano. That was a good match. I might have skipped some of it because I didn't care for it as much. Like feud wise, I don't care for it as much, but like action wise, it's pretty fucking good. I'd go check it out. Plus, seeing Dragon Lee in a match never disappoints. Never disappoints. So, again, for next week, look out for... This is going to be the main event, most definitely. But look out for Ripley to probably win the title back just for Io to stomp her feet and fucking get all pissed off and then feel like it's not fair. Because that's what WWE's going to lead to. They're going to lead to it being not fair. They're going to have Io take it, and then Ripley is now going to take it until WrestleMania where Bianca just takes it. To keep that WrestleMania streak and to lose it to Jade later on, maybe at SummerSlam or wherever next. Look for Ripley and then for Backlash, you might just get Ripley and fucking Bianca in St. Louis, which that will be nice. That would be a nice book. That would be a nice booking, like moving forward after WrestleMania, Ripley and Bianca one-on-one in St. Louis. That would be good. But until then, I will see you guys next week. I will also see you guys on Saturday. And I will also be seeing you guys at the WrestleMania Watch-Along Night 1, Night 2, April 20th and April 19th at 6:30. We'll have this all set up on the other side so you guys will see. We'll have to work out the audio so you guys can hear us. We're going to have everything set and prepped. But yeah, I will see you guys on Saturday at 1 o'clock. Hopefully Lewis gets to join here. Until then,